The Bible is very clear that there is a real God and there are real angels. And the Bible is equally clear that there's a real devil who has evil spirits. They do not have equal power by any manner of means. Satan, or the devil, is a created being. And Satan has been mortally wounded at the cross of Christ and will ultimately be defeated and will be judged for all eternity. However, the devil is still alive and the devil has evil spirits. His end is clear. It will be destruction and judgment. But in the meantime, between the cross of Christ and the return of Christ, we are still involved in a spiritual warfare with both the devil and his evil spirits. It's a little bit like a chicken. I remember years ago, my father was brought up on a farm, and they had chickens, and they were slaughtering the chickens, and the one chicken they cut off his head, and after they cut off his head, he still kept running around for about 10-15 seconds, and then collapsed. Well, in a sense, that's the devil. His head has been chopped off at the cross, but he's still running around headless until the final judgment. In that 10-15 seconds, which is the period of time we are living in, the devil is still alive and active, and his evil spirits are active. So we read in Mark's Gospel, Mark chapter 1, where a demon confronts Jesus, or Jesus confronts a demon. And the demon says, he cries out to Jesus, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." So here was the first created being, apart from John the Baptist, who recognized who Jesus was, that he was the Holy One of God, that he could destroy them. So the Bible is very clear that there's a real devil, there are real evil spirits, and that we are in a warfare, and that we are to expect attacks from the devil and from evil spirits as believers, as Christians. So Paul teaches us in Ephesians chapter 6. Let me read to you from Ephesians chapter 6, that well-known passage where Paul talks about spiritual warfare. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 11, "Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm." So Paul is quite clear. We're involved as Christians. He's writing to Christians living in Ephesus, modern-day Turkey, and he's telling them to put on the whole armor of God. Why? Because we are involved in a fight. There is a real devil, and we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. But notice these words he uses: the rulers, the authorities, the cosmic powers of this present darkness, the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. So they have real power. They are real beings and they have real power. However, and here's the key, if we belong to Christ, if we are the children of Christ and the children of God, then we do not need to fear the devil, and we do not have to fear evil spirits. We are aware that the devil will try to tempt us day by day in all kinds of ways. The devil will try to mislead us, and the devil will try to divide us. He has many tactics. But you as a Christian do not have to fear the devil or evil spirits. You do not have to fear curses. You do not have to fear the powers, the evil powers of darkness. Why? Because you belong to Christ. And in Christ you are safe. You are absolutely safe. Because you are not only a child of God, you are not only adopted into His family, but He has placed His Spirit within you. He has washed you with His blood. He has promised to keep you and glorify you. We don't need to know special words or say special things. We don't need a Bible in every room or find holy water. There's no such thing. No, we belong to Christ. And if we belong to Christ, we are safe. When I was a student many, many years ago, I was staying in a residence at the university I went to. And I was leading the Christian group in that residence. And one evening, a young man from the residence, another student, came to visit me. And I could see he was unbelievably angry. He was furious. And he started screaming at me. And he started blaspheming and cursing me. And he said to me, I belong to an occult group in this residence. And we are going to destroy you. And we are going to destroy the Christian group. And then he took out of his top pocket this little image of a man that he had cut out from a newspaper. And he said, this is you. And he took a pin and he put the pin through this little paper man. And he said, we have cursed you and we will destroy you. Now, I was a young Christian. I was perhaps 20, 21 years old. And I was terrified. I must tell you, I was terrified with this man coming into my room, screaming, blaspheming, cursing me, calling the power of Satan upon me. And thankfully, God gave me the words. And in a very trembling voice, I said to him, so I knew the student, I said, Brian, I said, I am not strong, but I belong to Jesus, and he is strong, and he will protect me. And you can do whatever you like. I'm protected by Jesus. And do you know what? That year, our Christian group grew more than any other year. God's blessing was upon us. Evil spirits are real. Curses are real. There is power there. We don't dispute that. It's all over the Gospels. Evil spirits have power. The devil has power. But if we belong to Christ, we are safe.